Good morning. Good morning, my collective. How are we doing this morning? Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. My name is Patience, or Patience with Spirit. I am here with another energy investigation read. Um, this one was tough. This was such a tough one. My name is Patience. I'm your favorite spirit medium, host of Spirit News on all major platforms, which you can find through the link in the bio. Through the link tree. We would love to have you at all of our socials. We have a TikTok and Instagram and some other fun extra things over there if you want to check that out. We are a childhood psychic that's using this platform with the help of my spirit team to develop our spiritual abilities, which everybody has. Everybody is electromagnetic. Everybody is magnetic. Everybody is connected to the electromagnetic field of information. Your electromagnetic field is what interprets that information, and it's up to you to focus on how to harness it or how to decipher it. Spirit speaks in parables, symbols, 144 on the clock, visions, feelings, emotions. So we're being taught by our own spirit team, the Guild of the Golden Triangle, how to decipher those messages. And hopefully, by doing that at the same time, we can bring some clarity to certain stories. We can reveal to heal things that are not seen, things that are not known, things that we cannot know physically, but that have happened behind closed doors, or to get a higher perspective of our linear view. Spirit News 222. 222 coming up. Keeps coming up. 222. 11 and 222. So I don't know if something's going to happen in November. We'll see. So we have an investigation today, a mystery of Noah Presgrove. The heck? I don't know where this came from. Okay, there we go. Noah Presgrove, he was a 19-year-old who was found passed over on the side of the road in Oklahoma on September 4th, 2024, with multiple blunt force trauma, um, naked with only his shoes on, mismatched shoes. Hello, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. 11 people in here and one like. Let's get those likes up so we can get everyone to the algorithm of our station. Of our station? I guess we could call it a station. So, he supposedly went to a party that was like a 3-day long party, and it was for Labor Day weekend, and it was just a bunch of teenagers having fun. Happy Easter. Why are you not in the kitchen? I don't know. Am I supposed to be in the kitchen? Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. Oh yeah, and just so you know, this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm just reading energy. I cannot prove any of this. My hopes in doing this or my goal is to hopefully maybe bring some light to things we cannot see, things we cannot know, things that people are not revealing, that they're hiding. So we can bring closure to people, so we can help heal the situation, so we can understand people's emotions and how things transpire through lack of control of our emotions, through things like that. So we don't get paid for this. We're just doing this to help our spiritual development and to hopefully bring closure and clarity. Okay. So um, he was found naked at 5:30 in the morning on September 4th, with multiple blunt force trauma to his upper body. So we found that weird that there was no damage really done to like his legs and stuff, which um, that's like a split between people of what happened to him. Some people are claiming that he must have got hit by a car because he was by the freeway or the highway, whatever you call it. But at the same time, like if you're hit by a car, you definitely have like lower body damage because, I mean, unless he was already on the ground, which then, then there would be like tire marks or, um, like, um, tire marks on the body or, um, pieces of the car somewhere around or something like that. And then the fact that he was naked, and his shorts were found 30 yards away from him, but his shoes were still on. Like, if you were hit by a car, I've actually witnessed somebody get hit by a car and their shoes flew right off, not their clothes. So there's some discrepancies with that theory. Um, Something that uh, may be more possible is that multiple objects or people were hitting him at one time, perhaps even a group of people, and that is on the autopsy report. Multiple blunt force trauma, but no, it's unknown how he got those. It's unknown. So, and the people at the party, like nobody's like cheek. Spirit just said eye and cheek. Um, he was at a party that he left at 3 in the morning because he got into an argument. It's still kind of a newer investigation, so the police aren't really sharing people's interviews and stuff. So we don't have like a lot to go on physically, but we're gonna tap into the energy of Noah and see if he can tell us the pieces that we're missing. Hey, Ophelia, you seem like you used to be homeless. Billy, I swear you come in here all the time and you say these weird things, but I'm glad you're here. Whatever's here is meant for you. So, you just a troublemaker. That's okay. We still love you. We still love you. You're still loved. Um, Afraid. Somebody's afraid? See what you can find. See what you can find. Okay. Okay, so thank you, Spirit. So I have a lot of questions. What happened that night? Why did you leave? What was the argument? Who did you get into an argument with? What made you so upset that you had to leave the party by yourself on foot and walk towards the freeway? Like, they also did a toxicology report. No drugs, no drugs at all. There was alcohol in the system, but they didn't disclose how much. Um, and when we were thinking about alcohol, Spirit said non-human, and what we're observing or what we're finding out about alcohol and any substance, but especially alcohol, is it literally makes you a portal for really really nasty spiritual energy transfer. So um it kind of like takes you out of your body and leaves you open and susceptible to lower acting astral entities that will gladly slip in and have you acting in crazy ways. So, um, could possibly be a factor, the alcohol. Okay, so we're gonna. Oh yeah, so I was drawn to my myth book. It says the Penguin Book of Classical Myths, and I said, Noah, tell me what you want me to know. And the first thing I turned to was page 213, the classical myth about Heracles. And it has a picture. It says Heracles and Apollo fight for possession of the tripod. Oh yeah, Spirit also always says, the Necrometer always says Noah and Jack. So I don't know if that's relevant, but um, they usually have those names, come up at the same time. So I don't know if that's relevant, but I wanted to say that. It says right here, um, so before I read this, I'll say whoever was responsible for blunt force trauma to Noah will probably get sick, will probably become sick in their lifetime, due to the shameful murder. Heracles became afflicted with a dire disease, so he set off to seek purification. Um, he sought to seek purification from Neleus, the king of Pylos and Messenia. Neleus refused to help because of his old friendship with Eurytos. And once again, Heracles left the city in anger, swearing that he would have his revenge. And look at this. So I don't know which one's which. I don't know which one's Heracles or Apollo. I assume Apollo's the one with the thing on his head with the leaves. But like I said, Noah had all upper body injuries, and this tripod is going through his body, and there's a bat up here. So he could have been hit with items, something that he had broken ribs. He had on top of his head an 8-inch um uh in it, like caved in his head, and his scalp was pushed back. So definitely something, probably like a bat or something. He went to the um Delphi oracle for advice, but the Pythian priestess refused to answer him because of his pollution. So Heracles, in a great rage, seized her sacred tripod, declaring that he would set up an oracle of his own. Apollo intervened and tried to wrest the tripod from him, tried to wrestle it from him. Before the violence could escalate, Zeus hurled a thunderbolt between his two sons and separated them. So there could be something about some kind of fight that took place, some kind of friendship. There was a friendship where an old friendship where someone in the friendship had anger problems, or uh, wanted revenge in some form or fashion. This could have, it doesn't have to have been, this could have started on another night, and this is something that like boiled up to this night, that what kind of blew up. It says, confident that his friend was innocent of theft. Oh, theft. He visited Heracles to show his goodwill, Brittany. But Heracles was suddenly overtaken by another fit of manic rage. He took Aphidos up to the top of his palace walls and hurled him down to his death. Heracles, out of vindictiveness, or stolen by the arch-thief Autocleos, and sold him to his eldest son Aphidos, and was well disposed to Heracles, and had taken his side in a squabble over... Oh. Yeah, so there could have been a fight between friends, and someone may have taken someone else's side because they disagreed. And disagreed with somebody who's prone to manic rage, somebody who's quick to anger, somebody who possibly when they drink has fits of anger. This could be over a girl, because I do see a doe deer right here. It could be over a girl or a lover or something. There's definitely some kind of weapon used, possibly a bat. And something to the ribs. Something to the ribs. Okay. So I got that. I also pulled this card to hold the place. Reflection. Dark night of the soul. Dark shadow facing inner truth. Seeing true colors. Okay, so somebody may have... He may have walked away because he was tired of this person. This person may have went into a rage about something that he wasn't doing, or something that could have possibly been it didn't need that level of anger or something from heaven. Okay. All right, Noah, please tell us more. Thank you so much for being with us. I'm so grateful to be able to get your perspective, get a higher perspective of your linear view. Please tell us more. What do you want us to know? Want us to do? What do you want us to know? We'll do our. We'll do our. I don't know what you call these. I don't know what you call these picture cards. We'll do our picture cards. Noah, Presgrove. I'm sorry for your untimely death, honey. I'm so grateful to be able to bring your message forward. If you want to give us some clarity about what happened to you to help heal it, to reveal is to heal, we would love to do that for you. So, we know he was at a party. What happened at this party? Why did you leave upset? And honestly, we don't even know if he left upset because that's just what people are saying at the party. We don't have a full timeline of what happened. There are people who say that they noticed he was missing, but they don't necessarily know when he left. And so, why did he leave? Did he leave alone? They said Jack was sleeping, but do we know for sure Jack was sleeping? I don't know. Mm. So there could have been some kind of power dynamic, some kind of um it almost feels like making fun of someone, poking at someone, um trying to look cool, or but doing it really like passive aggressively, very passive aggressive, very, it's like when someone insults you in front of a group of people, and um they make it sound like a joke. They're like, "Oh, I'm just joking." But they're really like, trying to in a heartbeat, but they're really trying to embarrass you. It's kind of feels like that. But also this I think this has to do with alcohol, because look at the clouds around his head. The clouds around his head would be significant to having clouded judgment, having no self-awareness. When a lot of people drink, they're quick to, say and do things they wouldn't normally do, quick to anger, quick to just be a jackass, okay? They could have been purposely trying to make someone upset, make them crabby, by poking fun at them, by pressing their buttons, okay? Opening a can of worms. A can of worms. They could have brought up something that was very sensitive or very private, that they knew about Noah, that hurt him. It hurt him. He was embarrassed. That could have been what made him upset. There could have been a group of people, yeah. This could have been done around a group of people that were just they were all drinking. They weren't in their right mind. They weren't present. They weren't present. They weren't present. There's no humans in this picture, but there's all objects that a human would have. So there could have also been an adult there, somebody who reads the newspaper and drinks coffee, somebody who's bowls, an adult who, and also other teenagers. So this could be a group of friends with parents, a parent, perhaps two parents, that were um, sitting on a bench, that were benched, that were observing this happening. Um, this could be why Noah stormed off. because this person may do this often in public settings. Yeah, because they're a show off. They always have to be the loudest person. They always have to be the loudest person. They always have to have the attention on them. They could have actually been, um, Noah is, from what I read, he's very nice, very popular. He plays sports. He gets the girls, very well received. This person, when they're drinking, could possibly have that chip on their shoulder show, or they have to like be the loudest, be louder, better than Noah. Okay. Um, but Noah's like a loyal companion. Noah's like a loyal companion. Um, like a dog, very just loyal to this friend who's constantly needing attention or needing to be the center of attention. There's an adult in the background that's plugging their ears. So somebody who is ignoring, this could possibly be this person's parent. Somebody who ignores this person's behavior or allows them to be this way. Yeah, look, allows them to kind of be out of control. This could be a parent that allows teenagers to drink at their house, and be kind of out of control and do all their wild, crazy stuff at their house, but kind of like turn a blind eye when things come up when they're drinking, because these kids are, they're teenagers. Like, there's going to be like crazy things going on. And this person turns a blind eye to it. This parent. Thank you so much. What else? What else do you want us to know? Hurry and clean up. Mom's coming. Oh, shit.
Vincent.
Look at this. So something could have happened at the house, with a group of boys. They could have cleaned up, and they could have placed Noah's body where it was found. Because they cleaned up. I mean, Noah's injuries were very severe, and so whatever happened to him didn't happen in the place where he was found, because there would have been a pool of blood, there would have been blood, and there wasn't. He was completely on dry ground, and that's just not possible. So whatever happened to him could have possibly happened at this house where they had a party at. They should definitely think about doing some kind of luminol test or something, because they definitely cleaned up a mess. A group of people that could have possibly been responsible or could have stood by while something happened. Because look at this. There's two people here that are interacting, and then the rest are around, just observing. So they could have definitely observed while two people fought. And then also look at this. There's this cactus coming out of his head, and he had that major brain injury. So there's definitely something about cleaning a mess up after after some kind of fight broke out. Oh my god. And then they all come up with some kind of story to make it seem like they all have the same story. They came up with some kind of story to make it seem like they have the same story. So possibly, Say Noah left the house. We don't know what happened to him. We were sleeping. We were sleeping. We don't know. We don't know what happened to him because we were sleeping. And we realized he was gone. We realized he was gone. And we don't know what happened to him after that, is basically the story. But what they're leaving out is that a person in this group, some kind of ringleader who always has to be the center of attention, was purposely trying to push Noah's buttons and create a argument with him, and they could have possibly gotten to some kind of altercation where either the group grouped up on him or they witnessed this happen and didn't say anything. They witnessed this as a group and then didn't say anything. So either way, it's wrong, and they should be ashamed of themselves. Yeah, because they're gonna be in the doghouse. They're in the doghouse because they're guilty. They're in the doghouse. It could have been something about a girl. This could have been a fight over a girl, or something in the past that happened with a girl that could have been something sensitive for Noah that this person knew about that was private, that he brought up in a group setting that on purpose to embarrass Noah because there's something about him needing to be the center of attention all the time. Something like that. That's why, just I don't understand drinking. I really don't understand drinking. Like, why do you like to?
Sinister moments.
Why do people like to drink? It's like
Distorted.
distorted. It's one of the worst things you could do. Like, to be in the energy of drinking, you're just completely outside of your body. You're acting in ways you would never act like. You have Some people have no empathy or emotion. You're just a empty vessel for anything to come in. All of your chips on your shoulders are magnified and you act out of those emotional distortions. There's clearly some kind of error of jealousy for Noah. Something that where Noah was viewed as this upright
100.
100, as this upright person, everybody loves him, and then this other person views him as some kind of competition. It's clear to see. Some show off. Look, Ma, no hands. Someone who's constantly in competition with him. And he has some like followers in this group. There's like a group of friends. This is like a group of guy friends where there's one person in here who's constantly competing with Noah, and then there's like cronies, like followers of this person who follow him blindly when he does stupid shit, when he acts stupidly. All right, what else?
Strange looks from strangers.
Strange looks from strangers.
George.
George? I don't know if someone named George is relevant. What else? So this group of people cleaned something up. They cleaned something up. They came up with a story to keep someone out of the doghouse who's a show off. They said Noah left. They all came up with the same story. Noah left. We don't know what happened to him. But we went to sleep. We were sleeping. It was 3 in the morning. We don't know what happened. Okay. What story from your life comes to mind when you hear warmth? What story from your life comes to mind when you hear indulge? If you were to sell your soul, what would you want in return? Whose apology are you still waiting for? What is something you will never understand? Didn't I just say and it's right under indulge. I don't understand why people drink. You lose warmth, you lose compassion, you lose empathy. You amplify things that you should apologize for that you can't take responsibility for. You project onto other people in anger. You can't control your emotions. Something happened. Describe a time you were too afraid to tell someone how you really felt. Who would look directly into an eclipse with no eye protection? Yeah, there's somebody here who is supposed to be Noah's friend, or this whole group of people were supposed to be Noah's friend. One person in particular is somebody who doesn't take responsibility for their actions, who's known to do dumb shit when they drink, who um, is constantly projecting onto Noah, and Noah's a loyal friend. He's constantly putting up with this friend who always makes fun of him or tells his personal business in front of people. He indulges too much in alcohol, and Noah never understands why he comes at him all the time. He's somebody who would directly look into the sun without eye protection, just to show off, to show how cool he is. Describe a time you were too afraid to tell someone, and they covered up some kind of event that happened, cleaned it up, and then all came up with a story because this person doesn't take accountability for their actions, and they never have. So why would they now? Have you ever been kicked out of an establishment? Have you ever been kicked out of an establishment? Yeah. They jumped Noah. Okay? They jumped Noah and then said that he left angrily. He never left. He was there in an argument and they jumped him and they all ganged up on him and then had to clean up the mess, dropped his body off. I don't know why they took his shorts off. I mean, how do your shorts come off without your shoes coming off? So I'm not sure. When was the last time you felt the need to rehearse something you were about to say to somebody? I cannot make it up. I can't make it up, you guys. This is a group of people that have rehearsed a story to tell the police so they don't get in trouble, because when they were drunk, this is why you should not drink, especially as a teenager. They had adult supervision, but this person turns a blind eye to their ridiculous behavior. And so they make it okay to be the party house, the house where all the kids can come and act stupid and drink and do dumb things and get in trouble. And they did one thing that they cannot take back. Okay? This is something that they've rehearsed. That, you know what? The thing about lies, though, is that over time, if you're not consistently telling them over and over again, every time you get questioned about it, it's going to be a little different. The truth is always solid. The truth doesn't require remembering. The truth is the truth. And so if you have fabricated a story, if you've made up a story amongst a group of people, somebody's going to get details wrong. They are, because that's just the way it works. Okay, so this is going to fall apart for sure. Why don't you just take responsibility for your actions? Why don't you just come forward and stop being a coward about what you did? How do you act nice around but secretly dislike? I can't make it up, you guys. I cannot make it up. I would never make it up. This friend was jealous of Noah, and when he was drunk, every time he was drunk, he would constantly berate Noah trying to embarrass him all the time. If your ego were an animal, what would it be? I can't make it up. This friend was in their ego about Noah. Jealous. What moment what moment in your life would you like to relive? If Noah could relive this moment, he would have walked away. Instead, he allowed this friend to constantly, he was a loyal friend. He didn't understand that this person was jealous of him. He didn't understand that. This person secretly disliked him. Maybe unconsciously, but whenever Noah's around, Noah gets the attention. Noah, everyone likes Noah. All the girls like Noah. Noah's so nice. Noah this, Noah that. Noah plays sports. Noah's so handsome. Things like that. This person, Noah didn't even realize that someone very close to him actually didn't even like him. And whenever they got drunk together, the same old tune always happened, is that it would end with Noah being upset because this friend knows how to press his buttons and knows private information about him that he'd share with everybody. It's not right. So this one particular time, Noah could have possibly stood up for himself. And this group of people, these cronies, ganged up on him for no reason. There's no reason. Who's the more difficult child? Tell us about the time you got into a heated argument. I can't make it up, you guys. A clue to who has a better social life. Who's the biggest gossip? If you were
Yes.
if you were a cartoon character, who would you be?
Jeffrey.
Who is your celebrity doppelganger? What's a risk you've taken that really paid off? Yeah, this friend was spreading rumors about him, trying to make him look like a dummy in front of somebody, in front of people, and he was upset about it. He stood up for himself, and this person was jealous of him because of something he was starting to be good at, or something he was gonna go do, or something. Who spends more time thinking about oral sex? Something about oral
Only one
sex.
spirit is here.
Something about oral sex. Who would.
Yes.
Yes. Who would most likely blame their fart on someone else? This friend. What is something that has to change in our society? This friend could have possibly been getting a blowjob from somebody that Noah cared about, or something. Or this could have happened in the past. I don't know if it happened at a party,
Stochastic resonance.
but something about
Warehouse.
somebody getting a blowjob from somebody who doesn't take accountability. Or somebody who doesn't take accountability. This friend got a oral sex from somebody that perhaps Noah cared about or something. And this could have been the thing that he always brought up. Oh, well, that person likes me better than you because look what I got from them or something. Or, always brought that up when they were drinking or something. Okay? That's this friend's guilty pleasure, to make Noah squirm and bring up a can of worms, to open a can of worms. Who wouldn't be able to read the signs when someone is coming on to them? Yeah, Noah didn't understand the signs his friend was showing him. This is when you have a friend like this who constantly is opening a can of worms, trying to embarrass you all the time in front of people and berate you with, ridiculous insults, and trying to gossip about you, make you seem like I don't know, like you're not worth the like you're not worth talking to. That's not your friend. That's not your friend. So Noah didn't see the signs. He was a loyal friend. He was very loyal. I have 3 dogs, I have 3 dogs in these pictures. And he would just ignore it. It only happens when he's drinking. So, drinking will pull out how you really feel about somebody or how people feel about you. It will. And you'll see it. I had a friend like that. I did.
Spirit is observing
And
you.
I ignored the signs. I had a friend who I thought we were best friends, and it still makes me sad thinking about it. I really thought we were best friends, but when she would drink, and we were around certain people, she would say things, she would do certain things that I, I markedly remember, like, what? Like, just little hints of jealousy, little, like, for example, she she had this one friend come over, um, with her to hang out with me and my husband, and we were partying. This was before kids, and they were drinking. I don't drink, but they were drinking, and her friend asked me what my nationality was, and I told him because it's just a simple question, and goes, she goes, "Oh, what, you think she's better than me now? You think she's prettier than me?" And I thought it was so obvious that I thought she was joking because I've never seen that out of her. So I thought she was joking, or I just, said, "Oh, she's just being silly. She's just being drunk." I really cast it aside and made an excuse for it, but really that was her showing her true colors, and I dismissed it. And when that happens enough, you should be able to see in retrospect those were signs that she's not my friend. She doesn't like me, you know? So that's like this situation. Honestly, that's Noah's friend. Okay. Oh, it's so sad, so ridiculous. What's something that has to change in our society? Jealousy of people who are supposed to care about you. That should change. You don't have to be jealous. If you're so jealous, why don't you look at yourself and try to understand what you don't like about yourself? What is it in this person that makes me feel so threatened that I can't focus on myself to be able to receive the same attention that they're getting? Why do I feel that I'm not receiving attention enough to feel good about myself? Why do you need to have attention to that level, to that degree to feel good? These are questions we must be asking ourselves because you drink. If, these are things you could have addressed without drinking, but when this person drinks, these things come out. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist. I'm just reading the energy. I don't know how to fix that, but that is something that needs to change in our society. Everybody's awesome in their own way. Everybody's awesome in their own way. You just have to know it and then be in that energy, not this energy. This is jealousy. This is envy. What else? Hmm. So, how can I find out what happened? So what happened after the argument? What happened after the after they cleaned everything up? They came up with a plan. What was the plan? Mm, what should I do? What was the plan? What was the plan? What was the story they all came up with? Investigate. Investigate at the top of the deck. I got you, boo. Kaden. Spirit said Kaden.
Be careful, they are watching you.
These people could be very, they could be very aware that they're being watched, that they're being looked at closely. Think before acting. They could be very aware that they're being investigated, and so at this time, um, they're they're probably being investigated, being asked questions. Um, they're painting the roses red, covering up errors. Cannot make it up. I can't make it up, you guys. These people are covering up what they did. So, what do you think that the investigators should be looking at to try to break up this cover up? Memory no longer defines you. Yeah, there's these people are going to start misremembering what the story was. Time is going to reveal the truth. There's going to be people messing up their stories. I definitely am getting that they should get a some kind of warrant to do blood testing in that home where the party was. They should definitely do that. Something about tile floors. If there's tile floors somewhere in the kitchen, perhaps. That comment was, "Why aren't you in the kitchen?" I would definitely do some luminol testing in that kitchen. I think you would hands down find traces of blood for sure. Because people are starting to be in regret. Um, they know they made a mistake. There's people who could possibly be getting sick. It might not be tomorrow. It might not be a week from now, but this is something energetically. When you keep a secret like this, something that you did in the past that you regret on this level, it will make you sick. You will definitely 100% get some kind of physical um, sickness for sure. Or it could possibly be happening now if somebody's um, sick or has headaches or has some kind of
Nicole.
Nicole, Nicole and Kaden.
Faded photographs.
Law is not justice, rules that are not fair. Yeah, this is horrible. You know, as long as these people hide what they did and they are living in this regret, the family members of Noah have to sit and wonder what happened to their family member. And that's another part of this equation that is completely unnecessary. Just take responsibility. Somebody has to come forward and say what happened because this is ridiculous. You can either come forward and take accountability for your actions. You made a mistake, or you can live in regret and you can get sick and you can die an early death. Either way, you're going to have to live with what you did. So you might as well do the right thing and come forward and give their family some kind of closure so they understand what happened to their son, to their brother, to their cousin, to Noah. Because this was definitely some kind of cover up. Noah, what's the lesson here? What would you have done differently? Knowing what you know now, what would you have done differently? Looking back on this, what would you have done differently? What would you have done differently? You can always lean on relentlessness. You have nothing else. When you have nothing else, you have relentlessness.
Modern luxury.
When you have nothing else, you have relentlessness. That kind of makes me feel the energy about the loyal dog. You know, instead of addressing these things that came up, He sees now in retrospect that he could have definitely set a boundary, and he could have been relentless in that. Don't talk to me that way. Don't bring up stuff that I don't want you to bring up. Being relentless and not putting up with this person's energy. Okay? And that's something that you absolutely 100% can do. And who cares about how this person is going to react or feel? Because they don't care about you. And so he would have been more relentless in putting up a boundary with this person. But because he was a loyal friend and he just kind of brushed it off, kind of like my story with my friend, he just didn't put it. He just kind of let things go. He wasn't. He didn't have strong boundaries when it came to that. So in retrospect, he sees now that he should have had stronger boundaries. He should have stood up for himself more. He should have been able to put his foot down when it came to this person, to teach this person that behavior is unacceptable. I'm not going to put up with it. You want to be my friend? Be my friend, but I'm not going to put up with your bullshit time and time again. So that's something that he's viewed. What else? What else? Detachment. I told you. He sees now in retrospect that he should have detached from this person to honor his own sanctity, and he shouldn't have pushed it off. He should have done it right now, because this person would take his inner power away. But he kept making excuses for him because he wanted to be a loyal friend, even though this friend was not loyal to him. This friend spread rumors about him. This friend would always try to
Heracles.
jab at him, take jabs at him, open cans of worms, embarrass him, because he was extraordinary. He didn't see the signs to make a change. He didn't want to sacrifice the friendship because he thought he would be a bad friend. Can you imagine? Ugh. I don't want to be a bad friend, so I'll allow you to treat me this way. That's something he sees in retrospect is a backwards way of thinking. Instead, it should be, I want to honor my own self, so I'm going to detach from you because you bring out the worst in me, and I want to detach from you. So the lesson is to detach from things that take you out of your peace. Detach from people that take you out of your peace.
Celibate.
Detach from things, people, places, and things that purposely try to disrupt your peace. You need to detach from them. And when they show you signs, to believe that that's what they're truly showing you. It's not a joke. It's not a game. What you see is what is true, and to trust that and to make the change, because it could potentially lead to your demise. And it doesn't have to be a death, but it could be theft or betrayal or deception, things that you could avoid
Conceivable.
by just listening to the signs that spirit's showing you, that these people are showing you. So he sees now in retrospect that he would have had stronger boundaries, and he would have detached from this person that disrupted their peace. All right. Thank you so much, Noah, for the perspective. We're so grateful. We love you so much, and we hope it helps. Bye.